Okay, so now we're going to look at removing DOM elements. Now, just like with most of the stuff that we've talked about in this section, the things we're usually going to do when we fire off an event, such as click this delete button right here, then we would remove this. All right, but I just want to show you the methods to manipulate the DOM before we get into events. And we'll get into events in the next section. So there's basically two methods I want to show you, remove and remove child. So they're pretty self-explanatory. Remove is going to be called on the element you want to remove. Remove child is called on the parent element, and then you pass in the item you want to remove. So I'm going to give you a couple examples in the form of functions. So let's say we want to remove the clear button. So all we have to do here is select, let's say query selector, and we'll select the clear button, which has an ID of clear, and then we can just call remove. Okay, and then if I come down here and I say remove clear button, and now it's gone. And you could put this, you could put this into a variable, like say clear button, and then what you could do is just call on clear button variable, remove, same thing. All right, now the next one is remove child. So I'm going to create a function called, let's say remove first. We'll say remove first item. And we want to, since we're using remove child, we want to get the parent, which is the UL. So let's set that to document.query selector and select the UL, and then select the item we want to remove. I'm going to call this variable li. And then as a selector, we'll pass in li, and we'll do first child, or you could just do li. So that'll select the first one, and then we want to call on the parent on UL, we want to call remove child, and then we'll pass in our li. And then if I call that, let's say remove first item, and now you'll see apples is gone. So that's remove and remove child. Now we'll do a couple other things just to explain it a little bit further. So let's create a function, and let's just call it remove. We'll just call it remove item, and then I want to pass in an item number or index, and it'll delete that item, right? So if you want to try this yourself, then you can pause the video and do that. But I'm going to comment out this remove first item so we have our apples back. And what we'll do is I'm going to show you a couple ways to do it. We'll use remove child in this one, so we'll get the UL. So UL equals document dot query selector. We want to get the UL. And then for the li, let's see, I'll just copy this down. The li, we want it to be the specific item number, and I want the item to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we could do, one of the ways we could do this is to put in backticks here for our selector, and then do li, and then say nth dash child, and then in here we can put our variable of item number. So that way if we come down here and we call remove item and we pass in 1 and save, let's see, that didn't work. Oh, I didn't actually call the remove. So ul dot remove child and pass in the li variable, and now apples is gone. If I pass in 2, then orange is gone. All right, now another way to do it is, let's see, I'll just copy this, but I'm going to call this remove item 2, I guess. And instead of, we'll still use remove child, but instead of passing the variable into this pseudo selector, I'm going to query selector all. Because remember, what that gives us, if I select all LIs, is an array-like structure called a node list, and we can access the index. So I can do this. And what this will do is put the very first one, the 0 index, which is apples, into this li, and then I'll remove that. So to give you an example, let's say remove item 2, and it doesn't matter what I pass in just yet. I'll pass in 1, but apples is still gone because I have 0 here. So what I want to do is this item number, I'm going to put that in here. However, remember it's zero base. So if I pass in 1 here, like I am right now, and I save, it gets rid of the second one, which is orange juice, because this is zero base, but I'm not making this, like I don't want to pass in 0. So all we have to do is take that item number and just subtract 1 from it. So now if I pass in 1, apples is gone. If I pass in 2, then orange juice is gone. All right, now I'm going to give you one more example. So let's say function remove item, and we'll call this remove item 3. It's going to take in item number. Now I'm going to use remove in this one instead of remove child, so I don't need to get the parent. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this line here, and I'm going to get all of the list items. So I'm going to just get rid of these brackets here. So we're getting all the list items, and then we can simply do li, which is a node list, which is array-like. So we can say item number subtract 1 because it's 0 based, and then on that item or on that element, we're going to just call remove. So let's go ahead and say remove 3. We'll pass in a 1 here, and that should get rid of apples. If I pass in 2, gets rid of orange juice. Pass in 3, gets rid of Oreos. All right. And we can really shorten this up. Actually, we could say const remove item 3. Let's call it 4. So remove item 4, and let's make that an arrow function that takes in the item number, and then it's going to return, let's say, document dot query selector all. All right, so query selector all, and then we're going to pass in here item number -1, and then call dot remove. So if I come down here, we call remove item 4, and I pass in 1. That didn't work. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to put the actual li in here. And there we go. So now apples is gone. Now orange juice is gone. So this is just a shorter way of doing this. All right, so that's it. In the next section, we're going to start to look at events, which I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for.